Hey there, comic friends and fiends. It's Rob and Chris here. Time for another episode of Slab Hub. I'm glad to see that this still hasn't gotten old for you.
No,
That you
I'm just really immature, I guess.
let my wife know that she has that effect on you.
Oh man, it's just so good. It's freaking priceless. Okay. Sorry, go do your thing.
No, it's all right. Hey, good. Welcome to another episode of Slab Hub, the sexiest and most sultry place here on the web. When it comes to comic books, that is, without showing off a bunch of half-naked women, unless they're on the covers of comic books.
That's
So there
right.
you are. Of course. Today we might also have half-naked men. On
Yeah.
who knows? Equal opportunities. We got one right here. Yeah. Suns out, guns out in Canada, folks. Watch
Yeah.
out. The Today is a very special episode of Slab Hub. Today is the wall itself. And that meant I had to actually take down all the comics off the wall. Uh, and the virtual wall right now, which will be taken down. We could always change it up. Instead I could come from my secret evil lair.
For half a second there, I thought it was real. I'm like, is that like your B-roll that you like the second printing? So that's what the wall is. There we go. We have a lot of fun on this show, don't we, everybody? We have a lot of fun.
Hey, here's a secret. Here's how. Watch this. You ready? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to Remy's house.
That's a sweet baby grand. Like go to Remy.
Remy
I
likes to use
wonder.
that one a lot.
I was gonna say, I wonder how many people just tune in. Like that guy's got a piano.
Well, you used to have like all the walls. People were like, dude, those are a
Yeah.
great comic wall. And I was like, oh, fake comic wall. We didn't know it was real.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, how you doing? Legion of Comics is up here. He's making sure that he's here for the Canadian jokes, but he came for the comedy.
Yeah.
So since I'm American, you must be the Canadian joke, Chris. Oh,
Okay.
that's kind of mean spirited. I think that Legion of Comics there calling you a joke.
He's all good, and he's getting healthy again, so that's
Yeah,
good.
Lucretius, how you doing from New Mexico, the opposite of Canada?
Yes.
Flo Dameron, nice to have you here. You like that Slab Hub intro as well. Big Dave loves comics. How it's going on? Juan Paz never could figure it out. Yes, help me get this 500. We were getting close. We were at 495, and then it rolled back to 493 the other day, and we're back up to 495. So we're flirting with 500. So once we get to 500 and we stable, we do have, and well, we're not. I'll go through it real quick. Well, we're sitting here waiting for a couple. We'll give a couple more minutes before we flop to it. So the giveaways, the one that I like the most is this one,
Rob,
the
Rob,
raw
Rob, blow
books.
blow yourself up. Let everyone enjoy what you're going to be giving away.
Yep. Let me turn this off here. Turn off this comment. Trade Paper Dad, how you doing? James Willie, he's here for the prizes, I'm sure. So
Because
500 subscriber giveaway. One of the prizes is Spider-Man 2099 number one,
nice.
Doom 2099 number one. This is all together. Punisher 2099 number one.
I'm sensing a Ravager in the very near future.
Ravager 2099 number one. X-Men 2099 number one. Hulk 2099 number one with a see-through action. No.
I'm sensing a theme.
And Ghost Rider 2099 number one. I'm going to turn off this background because we're going to be showing off comics, and so you guys can all just see the reality of the world. Anyway, so there we go. We got the whole set of number ones for the 2099. That is one prize.
Very
We
cool.
have another prize, Batman 92, the first cover appearance of Punchline in the 1 in 25 incentive.
Very nice.
We have first appearance of Cloak and
Ooh.
Dagger, 9.2. And we have a Venom
Oh,
issue
yes.
3, first appearance of Null, signed cover, or Tyler Kirkham variant, signed by Tyler Kirkham.
Very
And
nice.
also, so DJ Lynx has also committed to a prize. I don't know what yet, but so we'll also have an additional 5th prize from Mr. DJ Lynx.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. All right. Having said that, we see also joining us here, Joffrey Castro. Hey, I'm happy to have you join us. Beth here to double James's chances, or maybe we've converted her and she's a fan, and maybe James is here to double her chances to win.
Could be. Mark just said you're actually over 500.
Well, that's phenomenal. If that is
Congratulations again.
It's great.
On,
then we will
on
be
500.
doing that very shortly. We'll make sure that stabilizes just for a little bit, and we'll probably do it sometime midweek or next weekend, one or the by next weekend the latest. You do not have to be present to win. If you're curious about how to participate in the giveaway for that, check down below in the description. There is a link to the how to participate in my 500 subscriber giveaway contest. It goes over the prizes and what you need to do to be eligible to win. It is open globally. I will ship at no cost to US and Canada. If you're outside of the US and Canada, we'll work something out where you pay the difference in the shipping if you win any of the prizes, because I don't want to be one of those guys that says you can't have it all, but at the same time, unfortunately it gets, how it is. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Are you ready for today?
I'm ready.
So what we've done is we've gone through, this is episode 15. So 14 episodes, we've gone through all of my boxes of slabs. And so what remains is there's the wall itself, and there's about a half a box worth that haven't been on the show but have been more recent acquisitions that we'll do another time, as well as I've got more stuff that's in motion because there's a lot that are out there because of the delays that CGC's got going on, and even CBCS to some extent. If you're not doing stuff on the fast end there, there's a backup there. And I know that they're almost 2 months behind on receiving stuff that's not on the quick stream or something else. I see that 502. Great, excellent. Thank you. I thank you all. You don't know. I mean, that's just crazy.
It's quite the achievement, man. Congratulations.
It's mind-boggling to me, really, that what passes for entertainment these days, I suppose.
It's just a wonderful community coming together, my man.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I forget what I was saying.
You have stuff in motion.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot
I feel
of stuff
like a
in motion.
Seinfeld episode.
So
there's stuff in motion.
You're going through a forest. Hit a tree. There's more stuff in motion, but we thought we'd go through the wall today. And next week there won't be an episode of Slab Hub. I have other things going on, but when we return again, Chris is we're gonna flip the script, and Chris is going to be the host. Well, we'll do it here on my channel, but Chris is going to present some of his slabs as we go through them, and I'll be the small guest commentator, color commentator. All right, so let's kick it off. We got 31 books to go through. We got prizes to give away. We have, I don't know who's trying to Instagram video chat me right now. Panda, I'm busy. Stop it. What it do, Mountain Dew. Oh, nice. So we're spinning off of our What It Do Pikachu that Sean usually gets for us. Nice. Thank you. I just realized that I didn't see Sean in the chat. All right. So we're going to kick it off with the one book that's been sitting off to the side, not actually on the wall itself. Maybe that's why Panda was calling me, because Panda has been wanting this bad boy since he saw it. TMNT Last Ronin, the Peach Momoko variant, signed and remarked by Kevin Eastman with Master Splinter. Of course, normally he does the remarks, and that's when he does, he usually does turtles, and he normally charges more, but thankfully I did not have to do that. I'm going to try and cut down some of this glare real quick. Hopefully, when I turn off this one light, it compensates and we can just do this, and I'll turn on one of these lights and we'll go from this. Hopefully that's better since I'm not doing green screen right now. Cut down on some of the glare. All right, so Last Ronin, signed, remarked, 9.9 CGC, the big boy slab.
I didn't even notice that it was a 9.9.
You didn't notice that was a 9.9?
No, I was totally caught up in looking at the remark. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's such a fantastic story too.
All right. Oh, we're just gonna start big, aren't we? Holy cow! All right.
This is big. So we started big. It's staying big.
That's right. 9.6 Batman Adventures number 12. First comic book appearance of Harley Quinn. Not her first continuity, DC continuity. This is in the animated universe that exists outside of, but still her first comic book appearance. It's a book that a lot of people have on their list to acquire. It was one of mine early this year. I was able to pick it up. I stepped up to acquire it, and have been dumbfounded to see that it's basically gone up 50% in 6 months.
Two-parter. So that I agree, and I think everyone who's watching would agree. That is a modern day Grail up there with, say, New Mutants 98. When it comes to modern day Grails. And my LCS here, where I am in Ontario, has a 9.6 of that, and he's asking 1,300 Canadian, which is probably about 1,100 US.
That's a good deal.
So I'm kind of thinking, if I step into something quickly, I may have to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, because these typically right now are going, fair market value on it right now is about $1,450. And I've seen people asking 15 for 9.4s even. So that's actually, as much as it's difficult sometimes to say that $1,100 is a good price, that sounds like a good price right now given today's current market, and that just being one of those books that you don't expect to see tail off. Right.
So if there's anyone that's watching that wants that copy that can pay me a small finder's fee, I can hook you up.
That's just one of those books it's a future blue chipper that's not going anywhere anytime soon. All right, let's dial it back a little bit. I do have some books that aren't nines. I do have some non-near mint books. I know it's hard to believe, but I can't. But I do like to stay married. And that means sometimes setting my purchase expectations accordingly. So when it came to picking up the first Silver Age appearance of the Scarecrow, I had to settle for a 4.0. Because grabbing a 9 point something, if I could find one, would be find me needing to find a new place to live. So
I was gonna say, that is one of the best covers that we've had for an introduction of one of the mainstay rogue gallery villains for Batman. What's the year for that particular issue?
67.
Yeah. See, what a great cover, especially for 1967.
Yeah, and this is a.
It's not campy. It's nothing. It's just really cool. Yeah.
Carmine Infantino.
Yep.
With Joe Giella ink. So.
Love it.
All right, another one in that realm. This was a more recent pickup, but also this is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
We have 6.0 Batman and Robin here. First appearance of Ra's al Ghul. This is one of those examples where not all 6.0s are created equal. So this book, there might be other 6.0s that are going to have that may. So this one has some fading, a big fade strip that you can see right down here through the ink.
Yep.
Right. That's the flaw on this book. So aside from that, there's not a spine tick to be had down the side. There's no creases. There's no there's not a fold. Nothing.
See, looking at that book, Rob, that's the kind of book where I think you and I would agree. If you were to send that in 4 times, you're getting 4 different grades. It's just
Yeah, just because that's the flaw
that's the flaw.
is the
Hmm.
fade that's in there. So I don't know. I mean, obviously somebody must have had it displayed some way, and some son got it or something. But you know what, I I love it. It's still clean. It's and you pay. They gave me something I could say. Yeah, but look at that. It's colors. It doesn't present all that bright. Not as bright and uh, yeah.
It's a good signer copy too if you were ever to decide to crack it and
Yep.
visit Mr.
Absolutely.
Adams. Hmm.
Absolutely. Well, and funny thing is, so I could get it signed by him whenever I want, because you can go to Neil Adams store and you can actually submit your own books to him for signing.
Oh. Hmm.
I just discovered this the other day.
Oh.
Ah, I like this book. So this book is Batman 359.
Yep.
This is the first Killer Croc cover where his face is shown, but it's also Dan Jurgens' first work, and
Oh.
I have it signed and remarked by Dan Jurgens. So
Yeah.
he scribbled a
That's
Batman right over the cover.
that's huge. Look at the size of that one.
Well, even look at his signature. It's like right across the whole top of the
Holy
Batman.
cow.
It's like Dan Jurgens' Batman.
He had fun with that. That is awesome.
Yeah, so I love that when you can get something like that on his first work, and he just goes fun with that, right? I mean, I got right now. Actually, I do have a book out at a Neil Adams signing, and that's the thing. Like, I got books that are out that we won't get to see here. That it's actually his first superhero cover for Action Comics when he first did that.
Hmm.
There's a book that you recently acquired. Um, just one of those
Yes,
mainstays that
sir.
you got to have in the collection, right?
Yep.
Batman the Killing Joke, first print,
Yep.
because first print or no print. Just forget
First
that
print or
later
no
on.
print. Again, like
Forget that later when I get later on into the books. But
every time I see that book, I always say the same thing. It's for me top 3 greatest stories ever told, and it's just even what makes it even better is there's so many different interpretations to the Killing Joke, especially with the hands or the whole Batman thing talking about either I'm going to die or you're going to die. What happens to the Joker at the end, and the fact that it's a one shot makes it even so much more special.
well, and
But yeah,
what's great is how it's like for so long sat outside of continuity, but has become, but
they
parts
couldn't
of it
ignore it.
creeps in.
Yeah,
But
they
parts of
just
it
couldn't
creep
ignore it.
in, and then
Yep.
they've just continued to add more and more to the point where now it's basically continuity, because we have Joker in the current Joker series
Right.
talking to James Gordon specifically about events that
Yes.
transpire
It's
within this book.
foundational now. It's
Right.
foundational. Yeah.
So it's now it's beyond Barbara Gordon mysteriously being in a wheelchair and becoming Oracle for a while, but
Right.
but now there's all the different elements. So it's almost like at this point it's a book that is um, a story told from a particular point of view, where like no one's denying that the story events took place, but whether or not every piece of it is continuity is, of course, now with whatever we're calling this new current universe where everything happened all at once. I guess it is. All right. From Batman of yore to the Batman of tomorrow. Batman Beyond. This is the free promotional copy that was given away
Oh boy.
with no stamp.
Wow.
This is one of my early books I managed to pick up when
It's
I
a
was
big
going
boy
back into
book.
stuff, and not too bad because it's the promotional copy as opposed to the actual direct or newsstand copy.
Hmm.
But it's a book that's been climbing up there.
Yep.
This, of course, is our first appearance of McGinnis. Not as Batman, though. He doesn't actually Terry McGinnis does not take on the Batman costume until issue 2 of this. So this would be Bruce Wayne, supposedly. But first comic book appearance of Terry McGinnis. Of course, we would also see Terry McGinnis creep up in, and this is the fun stuff with Batman Beyond. There's so many books that claim potential it,
Yes.
the first appearance.
Yep.
It makes the first appearance of Gambit look like an easy slam dunk
Right.
compared to
Or Wolverine. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, let's do a couple more and we'll do a giveaway here. How about the old Batman? This is a recent one that came back into the collection. Complete cover hype book. The story inside is completely forgettable, but that cover itself has driven this book to be hundreds of dollars. And it's not even a complete cover because it's got multiple printing flaws in it where they've omitted the color. Because if you watch the moon, if I come over to this side, of course, the moon disappears here. There's just an outline. And then, of course, here it loses color. It's just white. And I think there's some other third flaw I can't remember off the top of my head. But McFarlane has been known in the days of yore when he used to sign these to color in stuff because it drove him crazy so much.
So do you know a little bit about the backstory of that particular cover?
Do not. Please
enlighten
us, good sir.
Okay. Because I try to pay attention to everything that Todd does or speaks when it comes to
the great Canadian Hope.
I wasn't gonna go there, but since you went there, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The greatest Canadian
I didn't
artist,
say that. I said
comic
the great
artist,
Canadian
anyway.
comic book Hope. Yeah.
Oh, he's a great ambassador. How about we say that?
There you go.
That cover is actually a rushed cover, kind of last moment deal. Here we have this particular cover. What's the story? Doesn't matter. Okay, let me just slap something together for you. And that's what we got. And he himself has said it's nowhere near his best work. He wished that he could have had more time to work on it. But now it's so popular it even has its own statue that came out, in the last 12 months too, as I'm sure you know.
Well,
but yeah, it's iconic.
It's the proto Spawn cover is what it's often referred to as is the prototype for Spawn. All right, two more and we do a giveaway.
Miss So has joined us. Sold Twice has joined us.
Yes, thank you guys. So Hell Risen 3, Punchline first appearance. This is probably the weakest first appearance of a first appearance there would be, because generally when I define a first appearance, I refer to it being the character is in there and has substantial contribution to the story that if you remove that character from the book, it will affect the story versus a cameo where you can remove that character and it would have virtually no effect whatsoever on anything that goes on, right? Hulk 180, you remove the last panel of Wolverine jumping up and it does not affect that story one iota. Spider-Man
However, I'll say Spider-Man 299 is the opposite. Come on.
I mean, how it's done, but ultimately it doesn't affect the story tremendously. I mean, yes, it's a huge impact, but if you removed it, the rest of the story still exists fine. It doesn't change the story.
Right, but we got 3 pages of that scene with MJ coming home, even commenting that Peter's breathing is different. To each their own. Chocolate vanilla.
It's not. I'm not saying that it's not a great cameo, right? And it's a first appearance cameo though. But if you remove it from the rest of the story still stands, and that's my point, right?
Yep.
Punchline in this is the same way. You could remove Punchline from this, does not affect. It's really just they added her in as a afterthought almost to kind of squeeze it in there and make it her first appearance. So I think while it has been accepted by, CGC's been put on the label and every key collector and everybody else calling it first appearance and everybody kind of accepts that. I could see where potentially down the line where 299 used to be Venom's first appearance. I could see where that kind of argument comes out down the line where it shifts away from this book and shifts into the regular Batman.
89 was it?
Yeah. Well, 89 was a cameo. I think it was a cameo too. I think it would have been 90 would have been the first full appearance in Batman. But Anyways, so here we go. 9.8, first printing by the orange cover, um, and is signed by James Tinian. Um, so there we go. I'm gonna get the. I have the second print. I have a second printing that's still raw. Although I just got the 9.8 second printing recently. I'm gonna thinking of sending my red second printing off to get signed, and then maybe what
Hmm.
the hell? Maybe I'll send one of my purple third printings off to get signed and have myself a trifecta of signed. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. I have that book. I have just not that. I have that book, just not that book. Love the Joker, of course. I may not. I may or may not have this book. I don't have any printing. Oh, well, go get yourself one. Third printing is still dirt cheap. You can find them raw for less than $50. Oftentimes, even in a 9.8, it's like 70 to $80 for a 9.8 on a third printing.
Hmm.
Second printing about 100 to 125.
Yep.
I think is the current rate. And then when you go to the first printing at a 9.8, you're at 300. I think
Yeah.
250,
And
300. But if you
right.
go to a 9.6, it drops dramatically.
Yeah.
All right. So Batman 92, we kind of at the beginning of the show, we showed off that 1 in 25 variant. Very nice cover. We also had the one per store
Ooh.
variant. So each comic book store got one of these as a thank you for having to deal with the diamond garbage during COVID and the switch over from DC off of Diamond
Hmm.
over to their stuff, and so they sent out one of these per store as a thank you to the stores, allow them to have it, and of course this one here is double signed by James Tinian and Jorge Jimenez, the cover artists there.
That's fantastic. And Jorge has a great autograph too, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great, and I like how he puts the year in there
Yep.
too on that.
It's a great
All
book.
right. Let's see. Venom's yet. No, we haven't gotten past the Venoms yet. We've only done Batman, really, for the most part, in all this here. What's up? Sold twice? Yes. I think I got one of the small town. I think you got one in a small town mystery box a while back. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Sounds like something Jimmy would do.
All right. Let's do a giveaway. So for this, because apparently we've hit 500 during this show, hit the hashtag 500, the number 500, just hashtag and the number 500 in the chat, and we will bring up the random generator and we'll do a 7 book pull here. I appreciate that very much, but every time I turn around and go watch um, oh god, Caps on Comics, I'm sorry, his
Oh,
I get I go, oh, there's so much to go. Oops, now I gotta take that one off. All right, we've got a whole slew of 500s entered in here. Great. Let me bring in the old comment generator, hashtag comment generator. Share my screen, share the tab. We want our giveaway tool. Bring that up. Hashtag 500. And let us say, I'm going to go ahead and give us I'm going to type in my end line. We'll give it just a moment for that to catch back around. Good. Pocan got his in. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit it, collect our comments. 13 comments, and let's draw our random comment. All right, Beth. And of course, I've just got done shipping stuff out to the Willet. All right, let's remove that for a moment here. Beth gets herself cool.
so,
Beth,
welcome, Joe.
I'm gonna pull the Beth. Let me know. Do you want the kids' books to be part of this or excluded, in or out for the kids' books?
Let's see.
Yeah, I get you trade paper. That
She said
part of it, please. All right.
Yep.
So let us seed. I'm going to seed them throughout, and what we'll do in the future is we'll just always just ask that question, and we can always then remove them or not count them. All right. Okay. Howie, Chris, as usual. You get
how many people did we have participate
we had
in that?
13.
13. Okay, let's count 13 from the front and then again from the rear for the first two. On the 13th book. And if I can have someone in the chat tell me what Rob is currently at right this moment for subscribers, I would appreciate that.
Okay. 13. God, come on. 13. We had Danger Girl.
Ooh, some Campbell love. As Campbell draws lovely women.
2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay. 11, 12.
So everyone's saying
13.
503 except for James saying 502. Okay.
We have a Batman Catwoman, Follow the Money, issue number 1.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, since you're at 503 currently, let's go 5 from the front on the 5th book.
Justice League of America.
Very good.
With Looney Tunes. This is a signed book. This is, Justice League of America. We have Tasmanian Devil, the Looney Tune variant cover, and it is signed by Tom Napolitano with his 10 Very signature cool. Down Very there at the cool. Bottom by the barcode.
Very cool. Okay, let's do 3 from the rear on the 3rd book.
J. Scott Campbell, Wild Sliders, number 1. It looks like.
Very cool.
Is that right? Was that number 1? Yep, number 1. Okay.
Okay, so you're books. At 50. Okay, let's 5 and 3 or 8. Let's go 8 from the front on the 8th book. 2, 3, 4,
6. Star Wars Tales, Yoda in the Hidden. 2 feet Very tall, cool. 900 years old, the greatest Jedi Master in the galaxy. Some Dark Horse Star Wars tales.
And 8 from the rear on the 8th book.
G.I. Joe, issue 26. That's a hot book.
I was to say a lot of spec books coming out of G.I. Joe.
That is one of the Snake Eyes books. There, issue 26, G.I. Joe. Congratulations.
Wow. Okay, let's do
1, 2,
let's do
3,
some
4, 5, 6. One more.
Some front to back. And now.
Secret Wars 2,
number
issue 1.
Who is the Beyonder? I can tell you who's on that cover. That's awesome.
This is the connecting variant.
Very nice.
All right, great pulls. All right, we'll do another set of pulls here in a little bit. Put that away. Let me label these real quick as Beth's books so we don't forget whose is whose.
Congratulations, Beth. That G.I. Joe is incredible.
So there's good books in there. It's not garbage. All right.
Boom.
Let's go back into some more great books here. Some slabs, if we shall. Hold on. I got to take a drink from my head.
That controversial coffee cup that was almost not made.
The merch stores down below got a link. You can get your own. Pint glasses, too. All right.
Oh, boy.
First print or no print, right?
Wow.
Darth Vader, first appearance of Dr. Aphra, 000, and BT1.
Man, that book was on the hot list. I feel like the top 10 hot list for like 9 months straight. What an incredible book.
We did see earlier, I did have the second print, which is
Yes.
signed by Addie Granoff. But unfortunately, no signing on my first print. But that is I actually had two of those for a while. I did sell one a while ago. Not I wish I had held it and sold it now, but hey, you know what? You sell it when you sell it, and you still made money, and that was it. I don't sell a lot. When I do, all right, more Star Wars. There's a book that's been kind of
yes.
Taylor Winder's always trying to claim this book.
That is again another top 10 hot book for a very long time, especially when Mandalorian was streaming.
Yeah. So first appearance, let's rephrase that. First comic book appearance, because this is really a reprinting from the Star Wars magazine or whatever. But this is part 4 of The Empire Strikes Back. This is the first appearance of Boba Fett, as well as I believe Bosk and Yoda, or maybe Yoda's not in this one. The Palpatine. I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 significant first appearances in here. It's not on this label because at the time this one was done, this was encapsulated. Nobody was really paying attention as much, I guess, to the book, and it's just more about that it's it's the adaptation from the Star Wars British cover gallery. I don't know, but yeah. So it's kind of a nice book. This one, unfortunately, is a great looking cover. This is another one of those books where not everything's created equal. I mean, the front of this book is probably a 9.4. The issues, I'm going to sneeze in a moment, so if I flip my microphone up, you know why. The issues are on the back cover. I don't know if you can see all this discolorization, and it's not anything that's going to clean away. I don't think it is just staining, and it goes all along the top. I don't know if I can get it where. But anyways, that's fine. It hangs with its back to the wall or sits in a box, and I don't care.
The first Fett. All good.
Normally, here's where I would also pull up Star Wars 1, but that book is not here right now. I got several books that have been on the wall that just aren't here today. I should say the honorable mentions that aren't here today because they're out at various signing events. My Star Wars issue number 1 is off getting signed, and my Ultimate Fallout 4 first print is off getting signed, and God, there was one more. It was my Submariner number 1 is on its way back. It got cracked, pressed, and reslabbed, and we're going to find out sometime next week.
Oh,
did I choose wisely or did I choose poorly? All right. Oh, this book's just kind of been people.
It's in the news right now. Yeah, it's in the news.
I mean, here's a book that had climbed up through the stratosphere and cooled off for a while, losing about 30% of its value, but still holding at around $1,000, and then starting to pick up a little bit again as we got a new trailer and we're getting closer to the movie release date. But yeah, this is one of those books actually I bought early on at the beginning of the pandemic. My LCS posted when they were closed and only doing pickups, curbside pickups or delivery. They posted they were going through their back issues and posting some keys on their Facebook page for people to potentially claim. And that's where I picked that book up for $75.
Now it's $75. Wow.
Yeah, $75 raw. Just about a year ago.
Now, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that where Marvel was still pumping the fact that Spider-Man was a non-mutant by throwing that on the cover? Because remember in the early 90s, the X-Men were the hottest thing going, and the 3 Spider-Man books were keeping up with them, but for whatever reason, there's a bunch of issues where Marvel threw the tagline above the Amazing Spider-Man logo and said Marvel's greatest non-mutant superhero, something along those lines.
Oh,
And I used to just think that's so silly. Why would you even like incorporate something like that? Like we're talking about, the franchise character. But anyways,
exactly. All right. This is, of course, I think anybody who's been subscribed to my channel for a while knows the story of this book, and that this book holds a little more significance in my family, and is never going away. And that is this ASM 300, 8.5. This was a book that was in my brother-in-law's collection, and when he passed, it came home with us and then got lost in his effects for a while, as nobody wanted to really. It was kind of painful to go through his effects. And then one day my wife comes around the corner and says, "You'll never guess what I just found." So it had been in the house for a couple years, and we didn't even know that we had an ASM 300 laying around in the house. So
that's a great story.
Yeah,
and
off it went, and so that it maintains its prominence on the wall, so we can remember him, because he was very passionate about comics and loved this book.
Yeah, the most homage cover in the history of covers, in my opinion.
That it is. Yep. Absolutely. And it was great because it was one of the books that I was looking to acquire this year on my Grail list, and meant I didn't have to spend a penny on it. But there's this other book we were talking about, $2.99.
Love it.
That first appearance of Venom, right?
What I consider and what Todd considers.
Venom cameo. And in a Chance appearance. Like, anybody cares about Chance in this book? Oh, yeah, I picked this up for Chance. That's what I picked it up for.
Right. Well, the last issue for Chance.
This is a great one. I mean, like right now, this is a book right now. This is in a 9.8. This is $1,000 book, right?
Yes.
And $298 is about a $600 book right now. First Eddie Brock, first McFarlane work, right? I picked up the $298 and the $299 as a set, both of them 9.8s. I stepped up at the beginning of the pandemic and paid $250 for the pair of them.
Generally, you don't swear on Slab Hub, but holy fuck.
I say this because that was a fair price.
Yeah.
At that time for those books. This is where we're at with the collectibles, how much we've changed during this period of time with the explosion is to realize that, that's, and that's probably, for the significance of that book, is probably actually more where it belongs in the scale thing today, even though, of course, the thing that works against it is this. Well, this is actually not as bad because this is 1988. So but we still are significantly higher print runs on these books, and we're talking about print runs today.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, what you just said is so true, because those first 3 issues, 98, 99, 300, are so important because each one is relevant. 98 is Todd doing ASM for the first time. 99 is the cameo of Venom, and 300 is the first full appearance, and probably one of the best Venom stories told, with him as a villain, as you know, and the whole symbiote saga, continuing on that way. But it's just, it just blows my mind that basically 15 months ago, you picked up that pair for, I don't want to say chump change, because a couple $100 is still a lot of money.
It was fair market price at the time, but compared to what it is today, when you talk about that, I could sell, one of those books and still, I could sell the $298 at $600 in a heartbeat in a 9.8, and have almost tripled my money off of selling just the one book, and still have the $299 to sit there and go for. Not that it's going to happen, but it's only worth that money, though. Of course, ultimately, at the end of the day, just like your stocks, the day you sell them.
Right.
Otherwise, it's still expensive paper.
So for those of you who are going to visit the Bay Area in the next calendar year, I'm going to ask that you try to hook up with Rob and ask him to bring his crystal ball when you have a chance to meet him, so you can look into it to see which book should I buy within 15 months is going to quadruple in potential value because you just saw what the man can do. Good for you, my
but
friend.
only
Good
but
for
only
you.
if I sell them, and that's the problem. All right, here's a book that again
Just
uh,
grows and grows.
grows and grows.
Yeah.
I've actually been really dumbfounded by this one. This is a book now that I'm seeing as a 9.6. I've been seeing it, listed around 400 or so lately. Um, for a while, this was a perennial $100 book. I think I paid $95 for this book as a
Mm-hmm.
9.6. This was actually the very first CBCS slab I owned.
And I got to admit, right now my gut's telling me at a 9.6 for 400 for that particular issue because it's controversial which way you want to go, what the first appearance is, blah blah blah, with the Marvel team up in that seat.
It's the first appearance in the title,
Right. And I feel that's undervalued because if the symbiote
yeah.
saga somehow crosses over into the MCU, we all know that book is gonna explode further than what it is right
Yeah.
now.
And so, and this is a book that unfortunately I can't tell. I would have to be able to crack it to see. So there is some pressable issue. For the most part, it looks like the biggest issue is there's a little bit of a roll on the, not spine roll because that's something different, but just so right where you would fold the pages over, you can see there's a little bit of
Yeah.
a little divot there. But I can't tell if there's a fiber that's on that's on the book or whether it's a single long color breaking tick. It looks more like a fiber because it hooks. Um, so this is a questionable one as to whether or not I don't know. I'd probably just leave it the way it is. I don't think that this one would improve enough from a press uh, to garner a 9.8 status. So, but I'm
But
fine with
to
it. I'm fine with a 9.6.
but to attempt to answer Trade Paper Dad's question, I believe there's three candidates. The Marvel team up with
Which
Spider-Man
was
and
the first
Daredevil.
released book.
The first
It,
release, I think they were all
if
done
it
in the
falls
span of
into
a
the
week or
same,
two, right?
yeah, it falls into the same category of the Gambit and other
You
stuff
know,
where it's like there's the book that actually hit the street first versus what was intended to be released first
right.
and everything else. And
But
generally,
but
this is the
the
one that's accepted as the first
right,
appearance, even though it's not chronologically the first appearance.
right. And when a lot of hardcore Spider-Man fans start now to delve deeper into his question is there were a lot of trade magazines released a month
Oh,
or two before that comic book was that actually had the interiors of the trades had Spider-Man in the black costume. So people are actually actively seeking those out as well, much like Spawn's very first appearance. Is that technically Spawn 1 or was it one of the Malibu books? It, it's buyer beware to collect what you want, and then there's this one.
Secret Wars. This is our origin.
Yes.
Oddly enough, right? So this book comes out,
Hmm.
and Spider-Man's just running all over the place in a black suit costume for months.
But we don't talk about it
We don't
until
where did he come from? What's going on here? Until we get to here, this story is released December 84, and this was May of 84.
oh
So
yeah,
for 7 months before we get the origin, and all of a sudden he's back in the red and blues
yeah,
for the beginning of Secret Wars until we get to issue 8 here, and he gets that black costume. This one, of course, triple signed: John Beatty, Jim Shooter, and Michael Zeck. Um, this one was one of these books where I, this was I learned a lesson in the difference between PGX grading and the others. So this book was originally, I bought it raw, um, probably for chump change, right? Because it was a raw book, and I
hmm
bought it at the beginning of the pandemic or before that even potentially, and had it pressed and cleaned and slabbed with PGX, and it was a 9.6. And then I decided to crack a slab and send it off to have it triple signed, and came back in 9.0. The difference, really, what it came down to was there was some slight foxing on the pages, and under CGC's guidelines. And then again, this is just a matter of, not so much as one is any more lenient than another, but just if we talk about the differences of, they have their different guidance that they go off of, and the way that CGC does the foxing knocks it where the maximum score it could get, regardless of anything else, was a 9. Whereas PGX was just viewing it as one flaw as opposed to a limiting factor in how they were interpreting it. So, different. It is different, and that's what's important to remember. Different companies have different grading methods, but I'm still happy with a 9.0 triple signed. I actually have a second copy of this, which is out. I'm waiting for it to come back. It was also being triple signed, which I expect to come back probably 8590 as well. We'll be happy to have a second copy. It's kind of an important book. You seem perplexed there, Chris. Are you there, Chris? Did Chris freeze? Hi, Chris. Oh well, my
internet went.
There
my internet went a little wonky. Yeah, my internet went a little wonky. I apologize. There we go.
Oh my God! Wait a second, Chris is mugging me. All right, here we go. I hear that this Silk character might be doing something.
She may.
Yeah. So here we go. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 3, Issue 4. First full appearance. Let me reference that. First full appearance. Cindy Moon, who is Silk. Does she become Silk in this issue? I believe she does, yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think the last issue was Cindy Moon's first appearance.
And I think this issue or next issue is what is the image, I can't remember, that gives us, we use in Slab Hub here, of Peter and Cindy Moon can't keep their spider pheromones off of each other. So, okay, and this one, of course, signed by Humberto Ramirez. Or Ramos. Let me say his name right, not change it. This slab needs to be cleaned. It's got some gunk on it. But unfortunately, it's on the slab. First printing.
Great investor book right now.
All right. So I always say I'm a big fan. I'm the guy who says first printing or no printing, right? And that's true from a standpoint, I say 100% when it comes to value. I don't believe that a second, third, fourth printing, whatever, should ever be worth more than the first printing. However, second and third printings do have their place. If you can't get your hands on a first, get yourself a second or third, whatever. Here's a book that had 6 printings. I unfortunately still don't have a first printing. I need to eventually step up and spend the money to get myself a first printing. But for now, I live happily with my second printing of Edge of the Spider-Verse. Has been up on the wall. The first appearance of Spider-Gwen, or that Gwen Stacy that becomes Spider-Woman, then becomes Spider-Gwen, then becomes Ghost Spider.
Yeah,
blah, blah. So this book here, this is Robbie Rodriguez signed and sketched. So we get our little Spider-Gwen down in the corner. Yay!
Very cool.
It's amazed me. That was a book that was like, when I had to get it for my collection, but it was like, okay, I got to go down to a 9.6 and a second printing to get into a realm where I'm happy to spend for right now until I can get around to selling a bunch of stuff and deciding if that's the priority book to step up to, or whether or not I continue to focus on my sub 100 Spider-Mans or what. I don't know. It's too many books. As to borrow from Joe, too many books, so little cash.
It's true.
Spider-Man
Oh.
Noir, first appearance of Spider-Man Noir. This was another book that my LCS had posted up on their Facebook page. I really don't remember. It was a fraction of what this book is valued at. It was a raw book, and I had it pressed clean, and there we go, 9.8. Spider-Man Noir, first appearance. Great
Great
look,
cover.
great
Yeah.
look for a character.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody heard of this character? Oh, she's heating up there. Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. This is Captain Marvel 1, her first solo series, retelling her origin, and
hmm
then we get the my first appearance actually is on his way back of Monica Rambeau is on its way back to me in Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, I believe it was. Um, So yeah, this is Captain Marvel. Monica Rambeau gains new powers, uh, and yeah. So there you go. This is her. I think her foray into the not the Spectrum, but what was the well, whatever. She's had some different power sets, bleeding over from.
And different names, yes.
Hey Joe, thanks for joining us. As long as you could there, and thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be able to watch the rest of this on the rewind. Okay, this was out of the Dorkery box. The Dorkery has had a mystery box. The first Dorkery's mystery box. This was the grand prize. I was lucky enough to pull that out. It made me a little bit happier because I was really kind of disappointed that I had sold off my for my Iron Man #9. Of course, mine was the Horseman
hmm
variant.
hmm
But I sold it off a while ago, and so didn't have myself a first Riri. Happy to have that first full appearance of Riri back in the collection.
Yep. She's going to be special too.
Yeah, she's gonna be one of those characters we're gonna see, right? She's got a show. She's gonna be,
Yep.
potentially to talk about whether it's Young Avengers, whatever. Yeah, thank you, Tripper. That's a Photon. That was the other
Right.
one I was thinking of. Photon and Spectrum. Strange Academy, right? That's everybody's favorite spec book.
I think that's my favorite artist who did that too. Is that not Arthur Adams?
No, this is
Or
a
am I
Peach.
wrong?
This is Peach
This
Momoko.
Peach?
That's Peach
I,
Momoko.
I gotta. My phone is just so small. Okay, I see it now. Yes, I know that Arthur Adams did a handful of those Strange Academy covers.
Yeah, he's did a lot of the
Yeah.
character covers, right? So that's easy to think of like that. But this
Yeah.
is the Peach Momoko doing magic. This is the Comic Mint trade variant. We had the Virgin variant as well. This is double signed right now. This is Scotty Young, who of course is writing the book,
Yep.
and Umberto Ramos.
Umberto Ramos, who I believe is based here in Ontario. And yeah, I think I just saw someone say, yeah, Magic is my favorite mutant. Catman said that. She's also Omega level, which makes her very special as well.
So at some point, when Peach next time there's a Peach, I gotta probably crack it again and have that one added to it. I'll probably just keep my Virgin copy kept slabbed as a 9.8 just because it's worth so ridiculous amount. All right, so probably in the fall, I think it was October or November, I was participating in a once a month. There was a group that was doing some Facebook live stream claim sales and occasionally some auctions mixed into it, done by some of the guys who are partnered up with KRS Comics, and they haven't been doing any since the new year. They've all been busy doing other stuff, whatnot. But one of the collection, there's actually a couple books that I'm going to show off in what's left that came out of there. This was one of these books that I claimed for they had put up for $65. I think is what I paid for this book. Or it might have been less. I think maybe they were asking 65, but I bundled it with the other book that I'll show from this group here. But anyways, so She-Hulk, first
Yes.
appearance, after it got pressed out, Came out a nice 8.5.
Very nice. Hot book right now.
Yep.
And it's going to get hotter. Mm-hmm.
Although it's not my most expensive She-Hulk I have in my collection. That of course lies with the George Byrne infamous naked jump roping issue.
Mm-hmm.
You like Bill Sienkiewicz?
I do like Bill.
Does some interesting covers. This cover though, I don't know if anybody ever
Oh boy,
is too keen on it though. Right out of our childhood, more than meets
right
the
out of the
eye.
childhood.
Autobots
Yes,
roll out. A great Peter
fantastic.
Cullen.
It's to me, it's iconic.
Yeah.
That might be a statement because I'm a member of Gen X, but that is an iconic cover.
I mean, how often did you rush home to get home from school so you could flip on and watch Transformers
It's
and G.I. Joe?
it's funny you say that. Before before we went live with your show, I recorded a segment for TM Nerdy
Uh-huh.
where this is just kind of a lighthearted interview, and he asked about my childhood and that. And the one thing I spoke about was out of Buffalo, New York. Uh, there was a channel, Buffalo 29, would air in Toronto where I was growing up. And I would finish school at 3:30, and I would literally run home every day to be home before 4 o'clock so I could watch Transformers out of Buffalo, New York at 4 o'clock, and G.I. Joe would come on at 4:30 afterwards. And one day a week would be the brand new episode, and I would still watch all 5 days, even though four were just repeats. I would watch it every day. So yes, Transformers is a very important, large portion of my childhood. So every time I see that cover, it just tugs on the heart. So when I say it's iconic, I think it's iconic, to me personally, but to most comic, observers, it is an iconic cover. It stands out.
Yeah. All right, we got 6 books left, so I'm going to do one more, and then we'll do another giveaway, and then we'll do the final 5 books. These aren't in any particular order, so I just they're sort of grouped a little bit. But anyways, so here we are, the very first slab that started my obsession with slabs.
Oh, speaking of iconic and the UPC barcode,
Newsstand
very
variant. Yeah,
nice.
I didn't even know what that meant at the time I bought it. I was such a noob.
I
But my sister dragged me down to or not, well, she didn't drag me, but she said, "Hey, you want to go? I'm going to be coming down to your way. I'm going to be going to the convention, comic book convention. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Of course." And while I was there, ended up picking this guy up. Uh, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I paid $90 for it.
mm-hmm.
Turns out that's been a fine investment, and I now have multiple copies of this. But yeah, this is the one that has been hanging on the wall. The first slab that I acquired.
Iconic. And yeah, there's not much I can add other than I believe that might be the most submitted book in the history of CGC.
No, I
No?
no, actually I saw something on that. I think that it keeps going back and forth.
Okay.
For the longest time, it was ASM 300.
Okay.
By a long shot. If you look at the history on it, I remember watching. There's like a timeline video that shows these things, but
Right.
it since then. There's been a couple other books that have jumped up there, including Spawn #1, just by sheer magnitude, and
Yep.
X-Men #1 if you count all the variants,
Yep.
type of thing. But I'm not sure what the current one is. But this may be this might be in the top 10,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely not #1.
Okay.
Just because, if for no other reason, this is a book from 1982. There's a lot less of them than
Then ASM 300 and
88s,
Spawn
and
1.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, right. All right, so let's do ourselves another giveaway, and let's see, we're doing that, and this time let's do the hashtag I win. Very simple. I win.
So never could
Very
figure it
good.
out is asking you,
When's
when's the
my next
next
mystery
mystery
run?
box?
Very, very soon. So the mystery boxes have been, all the books have been identified of what's going in the mystery boxes. The mystery boxes have been made on paper. So it's just a matter of me this weekend, hopefully pulling all the books out of my collection and gathering them up, and starting to assemble the boxes. I hope next weekend, to kick off that sale with some previews ahead of time on that. So we're going to be, essentially the plan is there'll be 2 slabs and 10 raw books for $225 shipped in the US, and in additional shipping, I think it's like $5 extra potentially going to Canada.
Okay.
But so we'll make sure you're listening. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me here. There'll be plenty of announcements about them. But they will be. I'm targeting for this next weekend to put them on, potentially in this time slot, since I'm not going to do Slab Hub at this time next week.
Are you planning on doing a GP, or are the 2 slabs going to be the big boys of the box?
One of the yeah. So one of the 10 boxes will have the GPs in the GP box. The 2 slabs will be a 6 times slab signed Harley Quinn book,
Yeah,
and the other slab in there will be the New York Comic Con foil variants of Dark Knight, was the Frank Miller Dark Knight, the
Dark Knight
original,
Returns.
one, whatever,
Hmm.
Dark Knight Returns,
Yeah.
signed by Frank Miller
Wow.
in a
You
nine,
are
both of them
stepping
9.8.
up, sir.
So that box with what's in it raw right now, as I mark it out, it's about a $600 value box. So they're
Yeah.
definitely good. All right, so I've got a bunch of I wins in there. No, yeah, so, no particular theme on this one, although the majority of the books that are in there are probably a mix. Probably there's some moderns, but there's nothing there's not a bunch of retread Spider-Man booths and stuff like that. So let's just put it like that. But I'm not going through making sure they're all over 21 again. But all right, because I want to make sure. I think that time I did it, I ended up giving away too much stuff that was like, okay, yeah, they got value, but none of the books were really great. So I'm trying to mix it up so that way there's some books in there, raw books in there that are $40-$50 raw books,
Some eye-popping books. Yeah.
in each box, right? Plus some of the mids and stuff and going on. So, anyways, let me share the add to the stream here. Let's collect it. We've got 11 in here out of 19 people. So a lot of standouts, and I'm spinning the wheel. Wheel of fish.
Oh no.
Beth is the double winner. All right.
Okay.
Makes my shipping easy. All right.
Congratulations, Beth.
What are we doing here, buddy?
Okay. So, okay, since this is her second time today, let's 2 from the front, 2 from the back on the third book.
Third book. Okay, so from the front, Devil Dinosaur, issue number 5.
People don't realize how much of a spec book Devil Dinosaur is right now.
Newsstand variant. And 1, 2, pull the third. We have X-Men Curse of the Mutant Saga.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's do a little front to back. Yep. You come towards the front. Now.
The Thing versus Deathlock.
Very good.
Marvel 2-in-1 action.
I do love Ben Grimm. Now.
The Avengers. On the side of the Skrulls. So this is issue 259. So we'll, okay, so that's 4.
Now.
The Incredible Hulk, Last Call.
Oh, that's a great cover. That kind of looks
Yeah.
like Dale Keown's work a little bit.
Dale Keown.
Yes, sir.
Peter David and Dale Keown right there on the top.
Yeah.
Look at you. What is it? That's 5. So 2 more.
Now.
Ghost Rider and X-Men.
Very good. And I've always wanted to say this to you, Rob. Just take the one from the back of the lot.
Very last book.
So, Beth, you get the very last book.
Spider-Man 2099.
Look at that fire cover. That is awesome.
With Captain America 2099.
That still might be Steve Rogers, though. Even though I know it's not.
After Steve Rogers went trans. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay, there we go. Boom. Very good. Congratulations, Beth. Whew. You know what? It is getting warm in my house. I turned my fan on above me. I turned the fan that's normally above me off because I didn't want it blowing the green screen when I thought I was going to be using it. And well, I'm feeling it. All right. All right. Here you go. Is our man Soul Twice still here? I'll set this one aside. I'll give him a second to sound off because he wants to see the Venom. All right. So here's the other book I bought with that Hulk, that She-Hulk.
Shazam!
Yes, indeed. This is Shazam number 28. This is the second ever appearance of Black Adam, first appearance in DC Comics.
Very cool. I don't think I've ever seen that cover before.
That is right now is a 9.0. That is about a $400 to $450 book.
Yes, sir.
All because of The
Rock.
No, not that Rock, but The Rock. All right. How about Shazam number 1? The first appearance of Captain Marvel in DC Comics.
Very cool. Very cool.
Billy Batson, say the magic word and become the world's mightiest mortal. Shazam. I just remember watching in the 70s, watching the little kid riding around in the motorhome with the old man and riding dirt bike. Become Shazam. Little kids driving around in motorhomes with all right, well, I don't see Soul Twice chiming in, but before I get the last 2 books, I'm going to do this anyway. Sorry, Soul Twice, if you're not there and missed out on this, but that's all right. You'll survive. Venom, Lethal Protector. This is a double signed, double remarked.
Oh.
So Bailey with doing the Spider-Man and Sam De La Rosa trying to get the right angle on it's hard because he signed it in a bad spot with the silver ink. But there's a Venom remark here.
Yep.
Along with the Spider-Man remark from Bailey. I've been half tempted because there is a signing coming up. There is another signing coming up for Milgram. And there's a remark opportunity. I've been half tempted to crack it and get a triple signed, triple remarked, but there's not a lot of real estate left on here to put
perhaps
another
over the logo.
Because well, maybe up here because this spot here is pretty tight because of Bailey's signature there, and Sam Del Rosa took the entire bottom half of the book pretty much. So unless I have him remark Michael Jordan, or not Scottie Pippen, I'm sorry. How dare I?
Come on, man.
I apologize.
Come on, man.
Anyways, so yeah, that makes for a very expensive 9.4 Lethal Protector, but in all that foil goodness. I don't remember what. Oh yeah. There's a couple little spine flaws that you just can't press out on this foil cover worth a damn.
Yep.
All right. Last two books from the wall. Thank you all for sticking around and being with us here throughout all this. Might I remind you also, Chris, his information is down below. Make sure that you also hit him up on Instagram and on YouTube. Does great series on Wednesdays. The best broadcast from his car, from anyone's car, but he does it only from his car. That would be more interesting though. You should go around and do new comic book day from other people's cars. Just walk up to people in the parking lot and ask them, "Hey, do you mind if I record a video from your car?" and see what they say. I mean, at least it's Canada. You're not going to get punched in the face.
There's 50-50 chance they say okay.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
about like doing it on my motorcycle, but yeah.
That would be a great one too. Yeah, just sitting out there on the bike.
Yeah.
Or if you had a sidecar, you're doing it from the sidecar while someone else is riding the bike for you. All right. Yes, Chris does have a YouTube channel. It's right down below. Thanks for bringing that up.
He's one of the, that's just him being him.
No, I know. But it's a great opportunity to once again mention, check down below and you'll find the link to Chris's YouTube channel there. Please be sure to subscribe him. Also, the Two Hot Guys, Two Cool Picks. No, Two Cool Guys, Two Hot Picks.
Yes.
Whatever. There might be some guy. There's two guys and only one cup. Wait, no. There's two guys talking about comics. There we go. Let's just leave it at that.
We're getting there.
All right. How about some Golden Age goodness?
Yes, sir. World's
Finest Comics. This is issue 34.
Oh my.
So this is 1948, June 1948.
Wow.
And we have Batman, Robin, Superman racing midget cars. Because, well, in World's Finest Comics, the strangest things happened. They would play baseball. They'd race midget cars. Who knows what happened? Those guys were silly in that book. But yeah, in a 6.0, this is a book. I picked this up off of, I'll say it. I don't care. Enough people know about it these days. New Cadia. I was just flipping through some of their stuff. They had on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they typically have a lot of big sales, like 30% off all Batman books, or they'll just randomly do these big sales to clear through inventory. And only books that have been in their inventory more than I think it's like 12 weeks are eligible for these discounts coupons. So that way, the first 12 weeks, anybody can get a good chance of getting a book. And after that, they become eligible for the big discount coupons where you can get a really good deal. And they price everything based off of Overstreet, which, of course, Overstreet pricing is way behind market pricing on a lot of stuff. So they have a lot of collections, a lot of stuff, a huge selection also of sub-dollar books, 50-cent books and 75-cent books, and everything else. Not to make this a commercial for New Cadia, but it kind of is now at this point, I suppose. Anyways, this is one where I acquired with like a 40% off coupon at the time. It was already a fairly priced book when it was, I think it was sitting at like $250, and then I got 40% off. And then when I had it pressed and cleaned and it came back at 6.0.
Incredible.
I mean, the value, I can't tell you really what the value is on this book. Unfortunately, there's so few of these on Census. Right. And they come up so rarely for sale. I know that there is somebody on eBay who's been trying to sell a low grade, like a 2.5 PGX copy, and he's been asking like $400 and something for it. But I think there's like less than a dozen of these on Census. So it's one of those books that when it comes up for auction, it comes up for auction, and you pay whatever somebody wants in order to get it. So I'm super happy to have added this to my collection. Fun cover.
It's so bright and vibrant. Like that is incredible.
This is a white pager.
Wow.
6.0.
White pages from the 40s.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
When I opened up the book and I saw it, I mean, is it white like today's standards? No. I mean, this is newsprint that they were using back then. So when I opened it up, I said, oh, damn. This has got a chance to hit white pages, and it came back white pages. So I mean, it's just got some little corner dings for the most part. It's a square binding. There is a color breaking tick here, and then there's again like 3 of the 4 corners have some damage, but other than that, it's great. And even the back, look at this. Tom
Wow.
McGann shoes, man. Look at that. It's just super colorful. The colors inside, amazing. This was just a heck of a book. I love this. You'd get these. They'd ship you these sizers, and you'd trace your foot and send it in. They order your shoes. But yeah, I love this book. My guess is that's probably an $800 to $1,000 book.
I think you're being
pretty fair given the condition, the age, and the scarcity of those early world's finest. Yeah, I thought they, it's funny. I used to describe it as bumper cars too, but you can see these are open wheel racers, so these are more like
by Indy 500 cars.
Yeah, for back then they were like the standard Indy 500 car. Today we would kind of think of them more like midget cars or quarter midgets or something like that. When you open dirt track racing, but yeah, this is just a standard race Indy car at the time was these open wheel death machines.
Yes. The perfect description.
All right. The last book from the wall, another Golden Age book. This one I just recently got back. This was one of those books. I paid $30-something for it. Golden Age greatness from 1947. The Green Hornet. This was just a great cover. This gentleman expected it to be he had it listed as like being in very good minus condition. And as you can see, came back a 5.0. This one here is cream to off-white pages though, but the cover was just so awesome. The colors are great, and the action, having Green Hornet hanging out the door, Black Beauty with Kato driving, just an awesome display book. So love it. I mean, this one is another one of these books where the backside's got a lot of issues and stuff too that hurt it. But I mean, hey, Baby Ruth, get your Baby Ruth cookies and candy. But yeah, this is Green Hornet. When I'm trying to pick out what I'm doing with my Golden Age books is I want to have at least one row of them, and I now have more than enough of that. But I want to get some Golden Age books that, it's not necessarily I'm looking for any particular keys, but just some great covers and some iconic characters. So that's where I've gotten my Dick Tracy, my Green Hornet, this World's Finest Comics. I've got a couple more that I won't mention because I have to unbox them. And they'll be on Monday's unboxing, some more Golden Age books. But excuse me. And so just in some of the Buck Rogers I've gotten, some of those classic characters that I just want to have up there. And what's great is if you can just find a great cover, you don't raw books, you don't necessarily have to spend a lot, and you can get some great comics to be able to put on display. So of course, if you want to go for something really cool like the Planet comics, expect to pay money. Or you want super expensive keys. Now, my next thing is I do want to find a nice Batman cover I like, in a Golden Age Batman cover. There was one recently I was up that I was looking at, was Batman number 18. It would have been my first purple label if I had acquired it, because it had minor restoration on it, but that was what was making it an affordable ish book. But it ended up going outside of my comfort zone at this time for spending on, but that's all right. You always keep your eyes out. That's half the fun, right? Is not always what you land, but the hunt. So that way, when you do land it, having that great story to go with it.
Every time.
Look at you. That's right. Swole up for us. You can do it.
This is how I sit the whole time.
All right, everybody. Before we head on out of here, Chris, what you got coming up this week?
Tomorrow is Sunday, and it will be two cool guys, two hot picks, the return of Mark Mark is feeling a little bit better. I hesitate to say he feels great because he was down and out for a little bit of time there. So it's the return of Mark, and we'll be slapping together a quick video for everyone to enjoy. If you have 5 minutes to dedicate to my channel, I would appreciate it. Tomorrow night, I'm hoping that at week's end will happen on Mark's channel with myself and Ryan from the Cosmic Campfire. We'll be talking about what did you just put up there?
Is it Chris showing off the guns? Nice.
Oh, okay. And hold on.
Not allowed to have
All
those.
right.
I
All
don't
right.
think you're allowed to have that in Canada. You
This is where my immaturity factor is starting to level up, but I'm going to leave it alone. Monday or Tuesday, I'm in the process right now of putting together a variant cover video for Stray Dogs. As you know, Rob, I picked up a handful of Stray Dog variants this past new comic book day. Put the piano up, by the way. Put the piano there. And there we go. And see, now it just looks classy. Tell Jeremy that you're moving in. I'm putting together a video where I'm going to be comparing these variant covers that I picked up for Stray Dogs with the original movie posters that they are homaging. And I'm also going to talk about what the books are currently going for off of eBay. So that's it for me. And then Wednesday it'll be live from my car, and we'll see what I put together for later next week. Maybe I'll be opening a slab that was featured here on this past episode.
That's great. Yes, and thank you guys all who helped to get us over 500 today. I really appreciate that. We'll be this week. I'll give it a couple days, make sure we're still there. I'll do the giveaway. So make sure that if you haven't yet watched the video, the how to participate in the 500 giveaway, and and left your mark on that video, your comment on that video, do so soon, because I will announce the end of that very shortly, so that way we can go ahead and do that giveaway and give away those awesome prizes. And then probably my hope is I'll do that next weekend along with launching those mystery boxes. Other than that, Monday we'll still have a Monday mail call. Got some more Golden Age books, as well as a couple of slabs that came back from signing events to crack open. And my secret decoder ring from the DJ Links Club, as well as some stuff along with some books that I picked up from the Comics Curing Cancer event, a great event that
Yes.
Cardboard Crazies put on. Raised over $8,000 from the community to help to give to the American Cancer Society to help prevent or fight cancer and help find us a solution for cancer. So that was a great event. I picked up some, made a donation, and also bid on and won some books. So we'll open up those books on Monday. And otherwise, I'll be popping up here and there with random stuff. So make sure you hit the notification bell so that you're alerted to when those events come on. Thank you guys all very much. Really appreciate you coming out and being a part of the show and joining in with conversations. Congratulations to Beth, our double winner this week on Slab Hub for our giveaways. Again, next week we won't do a Slab Hub, but we will return in 2 weeks where the shoe goes on the other foot and Chris becomes the embiggened presenter to show off some of his slabs. Until next time, guys, collect what you want and don't listen to anybody, including myself, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.